SCOTUS refuses to hear the Pennsylvania case. Is that it? Is it over? Not yet. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed lawsuit against Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Alabama is now joining that lawsuit, and it's rumored that Louisiana is going to sign on as well. Let me explain what all this means. SCOTUS may have actually done President Trump a favor by not hearing the Pennsylvania issue by itself. And this is why. Right now, it's crunch time. We're in the safe harbor, and then the electors meeting on December the 14th to solidify and finalize. And a state that feels like another state violated the law, violated their own integrity affecting that state is allowed to sue. So states can sue other states, which automatically puts it before, ta-da, the Supreme Court. Now think about it this way. I know everybody was revved up, and you notice I didn't say much about it until a monologue on my radio show, which never actually made it to my YouTube channel. Because again, there was this, even if they had gotten it to the Supreme Court on Pennsylvania by itself, at the end of the day, Pennsylvania alone is not enough. There has to be more. There were not enough electoral votes for this to go back to President Trump where it belongs. They need to flip several states. These are states that have already been called, they've certified, and Georgia is hot. They keep saying in Georgia, we've recounted twice, we've recertified twice. You're alleging all these things that did not happen. Well, Attorney General for the state of Texas, Ken Paxton, wrote, using the COVID-19 pandemic as justification, government officials in the defendant states of Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania usurped their legislature's authority and unconstitutionally revised their state's election statutes. He goes on to say they accomplished these statutory revisions through executive fiat or friendly lawsuits, thereby weakening ballot integrity. Now, what makes this significant? Now, understand these other states, they show us the fraud. We've gone ahead and we've re-examined, and we don't want to hear about your videos and your affidavits, and there's no fraud, there's no fraud, there's no fraud. Even Attorney General William Barr said there's no fraud. Listen again what Texas is suing them on. That these states illegally changed their voting laws. They usurped the legislative process. I'll explain it again. The Constitution allows each state to come up with the way it's going to handle election. But the one caveat in the Constitution is whatever a state comes up with for their voting procedure, it must be voted on by the state legislature. In other words, the representatives of that state, they get the yay or nay if this is what the election law is going to be. What Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan did, they usurped the legislative process. And election officials and the states, secretaries of state, they went ahead by executive order and with the stroke of a pen said, you know what, we got a pandemic right now and we just can't vote safely. In fact, in Wisconsin, mail-in voting is completely, they don't do it. They did this time. They had no real procedure in place to safe check what was being done. And so what Texas is stating here is rather than creating this burden of having to show, you say there's 50,000 illegal votes, fine. We want to see 50,000 people telling us that somehow they got cheated on their vote or somebody else voted for them. This is what the argument was against Pennsylvania. And what Texas is saying is, hey, we can't trust any of these ballots that came in under a guise of election law that was changed illegally. Now, what that does is that puts the Supreme Court directly under the gun of saying, hey, are you going to defend the law or not? I mean, we feel like they've punted on Pennsylvania now twice. They did it once under Chief Justice Roberts when he was, kind of the placeholder during the absence of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and we know how she would have voted anyway. But now we feel like they've done it again. But again, this might be a gift because now it allows all of these states to be brought before the Supreme Court. And kudos to Texas for putting the pressure on the Supreme Court. Like, we know you guys don't want to get involved in this. We know you don't want to be accused of overturning the will of the people. But what about the law? What about the Constitution? Are we going to follow it or not? Is it just something that we say we follow, or are we really going to follow it? I don't know that the Supreme Court can punt on this one. And as I've told you before, number one, I do believe that President Trump won in a landslide. But unlike some voices within the conservative alternative media, I don't come on every day with clickbait. This is it. We finally got it. And then, hours later, it all unravels. Some guys, they do those clickbaits every day, and I know some of them actually get financial remuneration for how many people log in and listen to what they have to say. I don't do that. I'm just here telling you straight what I see. Yes, the president has a path forward, but understand this. This is an incredible uphill battle. And if I can use a football analogy here, Texas, the Longhorns, this is a Hail Mary. I mean, this is an absolute Hail Mary. It is, will the Supreme Court show us that they are not part of the swamp, that they are not infected and affected by the deep state? Will they stand up and actually look at this case, not just deny it right out the gate? Will they actually look and make a ruling based on the Constitution? It's not about who's running. It's not about which political party. It's about the law. Will they stand up for the law? That's where this is at right now. Hey, that's it for my late night rant. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Share this to your social media platforms.